Hey everybody, it's me Stacy here at Scrapbooking Made Simple with our very next YouTube mini class. I think we're on number 113. Woo! We are back from CHA. It was wonderful. The products that are coming out are just, the manufacturers are getting so smart and so clever with what they're doing, and they're making them useful products that have more than one application, and we're loving that. That is what I have to show for you today. I have new product that has just, I was just dumbfounded, I have to tell you. We have our new website that has gone live. Woohoo! It has a completely different look and feel to it. I hope you enjoy it. There is still a ton of product that we have to load to it, but we are getting there. I think you'll find it so much easier to navigate. I am in love with my new search bar. Who would think that a search bar would make a girl so happy? Love it. Now, there's an easy way for you to contact us. Under the contact us, there's easy peasy way for it to happen, and I am going to reach out to you because I know that you guys will be honest and you'll get back to me with any problems. But if you are looking through the site and you happen to see a typo or something that's just not right or a glitch, please use that contact us email. All you got to do is type in your name and your address and put a note, and it sends it right to us from the contact us button. Let us know where the problem is so we can go and fix it. We think we fixed everything, but I know we certainly haven't, because after you look at it so many times, you miss stuff. And on top of that, I'm dyslexic. Yes, I truly am dyslexic. And so, you know, I try to do the best I can, but I'm the worst speller in the world, and that has everything to do with me being dyslexic. So I look at folders, and I think I had folder spelled wrong for years on the old website, but to me it looked just fine. So let us know. You won't hurt our feelings. We need the feedback, and we need to know what needs to be fixed. So I'm counting on you to do that for us. We have new product today that is, like I said, phenomenal. We have product from Sizzix that I had to be quiet for so long. So if you were one of those winners on Facebook that won, but you didn't know what you won because I couldn't tell you what you won, now you're going to see it because I've got it here. And then I had a special box arrive yesterday that I wasn't expecting. But before I get there, I'm going to tell you about Winner Winner Chicken Dinner, because you want to know if you've won from the last Facebook. I have got two winners. Let me grab my paper here. If you are Bruce and Jerry Clark, that's one winner. Bruce and Jerry Clark, you've won product from the last YouTube, which was that fun Shrinky Dink. Wasn't that great? Whoever would have thought? Honestly, Shrinky Dink has come a long way, and if you just let your imagination go a little crazy, oh, the things you can do. So Bruce and Jerry Clark, you've won. And then Crafty Me Too. Crafty Me Too, you are also a winner from the last YouTube. Congratulations. But how are you going to claim your prizes? Easy. You're going to email us. Actually, you can use the contact button on our new website if you wanted to. That'd be cool. And say, I'm a winner chicken dinner from YouTube, and give us your name, address, and telephone number, and we will get your prizes out to you just as quickly as possible. Keep in mind, we have a lot of prizes to go after CHA. There's a lot of winners, and we're still processing through them all. So you'll get your prizes. Cross my heart. It just may take a little bit of time to get them there to you, but you're going to love them once they arrive. Now, do you want to be a YouTube winner? Because on this YouTube, this is when you're going to absolutely want to be a winner on. Because after what happened yesterday and what I got, I have to give back. What do you have to do? You have to post a comment after you're done watching this YouTube. You post a comment on this YouTube. So you do have to be one of our subscribers. Subscribe, please. I have a goal. I'm trying to get to my goal. I'm about 7,000 short of my goal. So I'm trying to get there with YouTube subscribers. So if you subscribe, you can leave a comment. And next time I YouTube in about 10 days, you'll see if you're the lucky winner of the first thing I'm going to show you that came in yesterday in a box that I had no idea was coming. And I am ever so thankful that Sizzix Ellison thought of me to send it to, because I know there are not many of these to go around. In fact, I think the rest of them are probably in their corporate offices up in the design room, because they didn't even have very many of them to play with. They sent me one from the show, one that was used in the show, because I think that's how few they have. Are you ready to see it? Because this is what you might win when you leave your comment on this YouTube. I was just so touched. All right, I'm gonna bring it over. And then I'm gonna tilt down. There it is, the new Sizzix Big Shot machine, the Big Shot Plus. It has the same handle that the Big Shot has, but it is now 9 inches wide, 9 inches of base. So you can do all your grand calibers from Spellbinders. You can do all the new products Sizzix has. They're not gonna make a machine this wide without coming out with some fabulous product to go with it. And the embossing folders, oh my gosh. But if you can't wait, trust me, I think we have Crafter's Companion 8.5 by 11 embossing folders and your 8 by 8 embossing folders. It's beautiful. The machine is beautiful. They've left it white so that you can decorate it any way you want, or it matches every single craft room or whatever decor you've got going on. They really put some thought behind it. And what I was most surprised about is the weight. It's basically the same weight as the Sizzix Big Shot. It is not much heavier at all. It's really hard to even tell that there's a difference. So I love it. I couldn't believe it when Elena told me that it was here. I'm like, no, it can't be here. They're not in stock yet. They don't have any. And then when I saw the box, I realized the box was kind of opened, and I realized that they sent me one from the show for me to play with and use. And really, I can't send out a big enough thank you to Ellison, which is the parent company of Sizzix, for thinking of Scrapbooking Made Simple and allowing us to be one of the very first, probably the first, to actually have one of these to show customers. It's amazing. Now, yes, it comes with plates. Let me pull them over so you can see what else it comes with. So you're going to get your 2 clear plates. And what I want to show you, so you can see, I don't know if you can see the etchings on it, but you can see how it was used. It was used at the show. I almost want to say that these are Stephanie Bernard dies, but I could be wrong. So if you look at it, you'll see that the plates are the same as the machine, giving you beautiful workspace. They're not extending out too long. They're not too short. They fit the machine. Way to go. Then you're also going to get your platforms. Now, they didn't do a typical multi-purpose platform like we know them, where it's all hinged together. They've kept them separate, and I think that's because of the size. You are going to get your base plate, which if you had a multi-purpose platform, this would be the very bottom plate in that multi-purpose platform. And again, it's the full size of the machine. So think of all that workspace you get. Then you get your B shim, which is the one that allows you to do your embossing folders and your sizzlets. There's your B shim. And last, you'll get your A shim, which sits right on top. This is like if your multi-purpose platform was completely closed. This lets you do all your thinlets and framelets, your wafer style dies. So your Spellbinders and your diversions and your memory box and your dynamics and your hot off the press and your cottage cuts and whomever you have in your arsenal of wafer dies. And remember, a wafer die is a die that's uber thin. See how thin that is? It's wafer thin, and it's called a wafer die. So it gives you everything you're going to need right out of the box to get going right away. And all the plates are the exact same size of the machine. I am so overjoyed about that. So I'm going to move these out of the way for now because we are going to be using the Plus machine today, only I'm going to be using it with my magnetic platform for a while. So this is what you have the opportunity to win when you post your comment. I'm going to give at least 2 of them away because I really do believe in paying forward, and they sent this to me as a surprise. And I want to give it to somebody out there as a surprise. So this is the giveaway for this YouTube. How much are they? They are going to retail for $199.99. We are going to sell them for $139.99, and that will be our everyday price, $139.99. It will have shipping. You won't be able to ship for free, but we're trying to keep the shipping somewhere between $7.95 and $9.95. We will not be able to ship these internationally. I am oh so sorry, but it's just not possible for us to do. So Canada, Mexico, the UK, Australia, I am so sorry. When will they be available? Well, because of the issues with the ports here in Los Angeles, they are giving me a time frame of around late March, early April. We're going to put it in our new website on a pre-order basis right now, showing an estimated date of April 15th. Wait a minute, I'm going to tilt on up. Did you hear that? We're going to show you an estimated date. Do you know why? Because we can. Okay, back down. Yes, we can now put product on pre-order and show you an estimated date, or if there's a back-ordered product, we can show you an estimated date of when it's due back in. Oh, very excited about that. Can you tell? So April 15th is when they're anticipating we will have no problem shipping them out. They're hoping they come in sooner, but I wouldn't hold my breath. I would gauge somewhere around April 15th, and if something changes, if it's going to be longer or shorter, we will update on the website on the actual item. We'll change the date so you can check back and see where it still stands. I can tell you we will be the first in the country to have these. There's no question about it. If I have to drive down there and pick them myself. All right, so I'm going to put this aside right now because then I have other new product to share with you, which is what we're really supposed to be showing on this YouTube. Sizzix has come out. What's this? Don't worry, I'm going to get to that. Sizzix has come out with this amazing tool. What is it? It's an ink sheets transfer pad. It's a shim, but it's a very special type of shim. And when you see what it does, you are going to want it. We're going to have it in the beginner pack, which is going to give you the transfer pad. It's going to give you the foil sheets we're going to work with, and it's going to give you 3 dies, 3, I think, framelit dies for you to start playing with right away. The price? Okay, hold on. $14.99 for the intro pack that gives you everything that you need, and then of course we're going to have it on sale. But you want to know what it does, right? Let me show you. I'm going to switch and work with my magnetic platform right now. If you don't have a magnetic platform, don't worry, it's okay. They give you directions on the actual transfer pad on how to use different platforms depending on which you've got, how to make all the correct sandwiches. I do want to let you know that when you do this, you are going to see the impressions left from the dies that you've used, and that's okay. That's to be expected. It's not going to hurt the pad at all. Just know you're going to be able to see the impressions of what die you've used. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Now, they have also come out with these clear plates, only they're not clear anymore, they're colored. And they have them in 3 colors. And in the beginning I was like, well, okay, that's pretty cool, I guess. You know, it's colored. If you like pink or purple or teal and that really turns you on, hey, go ahead. But then I started really thinking about it, because you know me and my do not cut plates and how they get used all the time when they're not supposed to be used. Well, shucks, I would buy this just to be having as my do not cut plate. Because now everybody knows, do not cut the pink plate. I don't have to write on here, do not cut anymore, or label it. You will always know that if you have a colored plate, that's your do not cut plate. Now, they come sold in a pair of 2, just like the clear ones. I want to say they're maybe $11.99 for the 2. I want to say they're $1 more than the clear ones. And if you love the colors and you want to have fun and decorate your room because they match, go for it. But if not, this is just buy 1 set to have a do not cut plate without question, because then you're never going to be confused which one not to cut. Your clear one is for your cutting. Your colored one is your bottom one is your do not cut. Okay, so I'm going to put that out of the way for just right now so we can get back to working with the transfer pad. Now I have got my magnetic platform, I've got my transfer pad, and I've got these foil sheets. There's a glossy side, and there is a matte side. You can see the difference, glossy versus matte. It's very important that you use the right side against the paper so that the transfer actually happens. And so I'm gonna show you the sandwich, and I'm gonna show you what these do. We have got, in the kit that you're gonna get for your $14.99 less your 20%, you're going to get a sheet of gold, a sheet of silver, a sheet of black, and a sheet of white, with 3 little dies to start playing with. Although if you have wafer dies, you're just gonna wanna get right busy. So I am going to take, and I think I'm gonna use one of the small new Tonic Studio dies that we have in. Tonic Studios, Gary was here yesterday. I had an appointment with him yesterday, and he brought in a bunch of new dies that we saw at CHA that I needed to have more information on. And when he brought them in, I just quickly looked at them. I went, oh, because I have wanted Tonic Studios for so long. They are a UK company, and they're finally going to be here in the US, and we're going to have the line, and I was very excited because I've been pestering them, literally pestering them. When can I buy your dies? Can I buy your dies? When can I have your dies? Can I have your dies yet? When can we buy your dies? We can have them now! And there's one set over here that when I show you, it's just beautiful. So I'm going to take my die, and I'm going to take a piece of paper. And I've got just a black piece of paper here, black smooth. I'm going to put my paper right onto my transfer pad. Notice there's no clear plate. There's no clear plate here or on top of the transfer pad, no clear plate. The transfer pad directly to your base platform, whether that be your magnetic platform or whatever sandwich you need to make to go with the platform you have. Then your paper. Then I'm going to take a piece of this foil. And I've cut this one down. I could cut it down a little bit more, but I've cut this one down. This is silver. I'm going to take the silver and put it right onto my sheet of paper, and I'm going to take my die and place my die where I want it. So I'm going to put this flourish up in this corner. If I wanted, I could move it and I could have it in the middle of my paper. It's really wherever it is you want that impression to be made. Okay? Then I'm going to take my clear plate and put it right on the top. So one clear plate, or if you want, you can use a colored plate. And I'm going to bring my Big Shot Plus machine right back over. Now normally with your Big Shot machine, you would go ahead and slide it this way. And you absolutely can still do that with your Plus machine. But you can also turn it this way because it's now got the width to do that. And you've got, it sits right on that base completely. It's just amazing. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to roll it through, and you may hear some creaks, you may not. Oh, yeah. That's okay. Don't worry. It's a good thing. That means it's working. If you can't turn the machine, if you can't turn your handle, then you stop. But don't stop for the creaks and the cracks. It's all right. You haven't done anything wrong, I promise. Just keep going. We have people who actually stop right in the middle of turning because they hear the cracks. They grab the phone, they call us, they say, "What have I done?" And we say, no, keep going. And then they keep going, and then we hear, "Oh," and that's when we know they've got it. They also are hooked forever, but okay, so I'm just gonna move this off to the side, and I'm going to take my die off, and this is what I'm left with. And you're going, Well, the foil has hit all the blade, where the blade is, where that etching is, and it has transferred onto my black piece of paper. So when I peel it back, what I have is a beautiful image. It's not die cut. It's almost like a letterpress. You have transferred the die image onto your paper. Think about everything you could do with all the wafer dies that you have when you don't necessarily want to use a die cut. Maybe you just want to use it as an embellishment. Maybe you want to do it on the outside of an envelope. Maybe, I can't even begin to think of all the things you can do like this. It's amazing, and it gives you a whole nother use for your wafer dies. Gives you another use. So not only can you die cut with them now, you can transfer image on any kind of paper. It doesn't have to be black, it can be pattern paper, it can be white paper, it can be any kind of paper. You can transfer your image. It's beautiful. It makes it almost like a stamp. So for those of you who don't stamp, but you own a lot of these, guess what? You do now. Absolutely gorgeous, because now you can take it and you can go in with your Wink of Stellas or your Wink of Lunas or your Pan Pastels or whatever it is that you color with. Your Copics, if you're working on, could you even imagine doing this on top of Copic paper and then going in and coloring with your Copics? Oh my gosh, okay. the ideas just keep going. I have to tell you, it was amazing when I saw this about 2 months ago. And this is what I had to keep, well, this and a few other things. I had to keep secret, secret, secret. And I was very good about keeping it secret because I signed a confidentiality agreement, and that'll pretty much keep my mouth secret. It's like, if you tell, we won't ship you. I didn't tell a soul because I want you to have this product. Couldn't tell you about the machine either. Okay, so I want to show you another one because they're just beautiful. Yesterday, when Gary was here from Tonic Studios, he brought in this set. And I looked at this set, and I literally took it right out of his hands and took it over to Yvette, who was making samples, and I gave her this one. And I said, you have to do this one. You have to do it right now. I have to see it with this foil. I have to. And thankfully, Gary from Tonic Studios and David from Ellison, they've gotten to know me pretty well, and they can actually see my brain turn and move, and sometimes smoke comes out, but they just let me go. When I have a moment of when I need to see something, when I need to do it, I just go and I do it because I don't want the moment to pass. So I took this over to Yvette, and we have the foil. So I'm gonna grab a piece of foil. I'm gonna grab my magnetic platform again. I've got my ink sheet transfer pad right on top with no clear plate. I have got my paper. I have got my foil with the shiny side facing you. You don't want to see that matte doll side facing you. You want to see that shiny side facing you. And because these dies, these are called Versos. So you get, each one has their own frame and their own insert, but you can mix and match. This insert will work with this frame, and you can do this frame all by itself, or you could do this frame all by itself, or you could do this insert all by itself, or you could match this insert with this frame. You get where I'm going, right? Their Verso dies are brilliant. I really am enjoying Tonic Studios. I have wanted them for so long, and when we were at CHA, I talked about them kind of being 007-ish. That's because their dies are really ingenious. They are a wafer die, and they're manufactured like all wafer dies. But the thought process and the engineering that goes behind their dies is brilliant. Okay, so I'm gonna line up my frame, and then I'm gonna put my insert, move it to where I want it to be because I'm on my magnetic platform, so I can do that. And then I'm gonna put my top clear plate. So again, sandwich is magnetic platform, transfer pad, paper, foil, shiny side up, die, and then clear plate. I'm gonna bring back, oh, I just moved it when I put my clear plate on. I'm gonna bring back my, I did it again. All right, let's put it on so I don't have to do that. I'll just line it up here. That way when I pick it up or I put the plate on, I don't move it. There we go. There we go. So I'm just gonna roll it on through. Oh, no creaks and cracks. I was ready for it. Slide it on out. Take off my clear plate. My die slides right off, and nothing gets on your die. Your die is perfectly clean and fine and ready to go. This is where I'm at. Can you see that impression? But then when I start to peel up, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Is that gorgeous? That came from using a die and a very special foil sheet from Sizzix. The possibilities are absolutely endless. They're absolutely endless. I mean, you can just go in there and color and take those dies and utilize them in ways you never have before. Like I said, you could go in and now color her dress with Winkalunas or Winkastellas. You can use it on an envelope. You can use it on your scrapbook pages because it has no height. It's low. You can just go crazy with it, and it doesn't have to be on black or white paper. You absolutely can use patterned paper. And then you're left with this negative. Now, I haven't 100% worked with the negatives yet to where I'm comfortable showing you what to do with them. But I have kept all my negatives and I'm going to play with them. So by the time the Ink Essentials transfer pad gets in stock, which is also going to be a pre-order, I will be able to show you what to do with the negatives, and we will do another YouTube using the negatives as long as I've mastered it so I can show you, because if it's hard to do, then it's not fun. I want you to utilize the negative for something easy and fun, but I don't want you to throw them away. Gorgeous, isn't it? Can you just imagine all the things you can do? Now, when David brought this to me a couple months ago for me to see, and I placed my order right then and there, and we took a big order, my mind started to work and he could see the wheels turning, and I pretty much in the middle of the appointment got up and went to my demo cart because I had an idea. And when I have an idea, I have to do it right then. Otherwise I might forget about it because I'm getting older and that happens more and more frequently. But he didn't say a word. He just let me go. He let me do what I needed to do. And I went and I grabbed a piece of acetate. Just a piece of acetate. This is the graphics acetate that we sell. We sell it in a 25 pack of 8.5 by 11 for like $13. It's pretty thin. You may have something like this around your house if you've got dies from Sizzix, that the thick dies, the steel rule dies like the Tim Holtz, and you don't keep them in that packaging. That might, try it. All you can do is try different types of acetate. You never know what's gonna work. But what I did is I grabbed that and I grabbed my Versamark pad. Versamark pad is the medium that we use to do heat embossing when we're using embossing powders. And I just had this crazy idea, would this work? And like I said, bless David and Kim, they didn't say anything. They kind of just stopped talking and let me do what I needed to do. And he's looking at me like, well, he was looking at me like, what is she doing? And I'm just like, wait, just let me do this, wait. So the very first thing I want to do is I want to grab a piece of paper that I'm going to work with. I'm going to grab a piece of paper, and I can't find what I did with my little talcum pantyhose that I make, because I don't necessarily believe in buying those little static cling things that they sell in stamping manufacturers carry them. It's a little bag, a little pouch, and it has baby powder in it. And they're like $5.99. We make our own out of pantyhose. We just take the pantyhose, we cut off the foot, a little bit of the foot. We dump a bunch of this in there so it makes a nice little ball. We twist the pantyhose around and then turn it back in onto itself, twist it around, turn it back in onto itself. So it makes like a cheesecloth. That's way less expensive than $5.99 for one of those little pouches, but it's up to you however you want to get it. You do want to add a little bit of baby powder to your paper. And this is true anytime you're using embossing powder, because embossing powder is staticky, and we don't want that embossing powder to necessarily stick to the rest of our card. So if you take a little bit of talcum powder, a little bit of baby powder, and just go over your card with it, when you stamp, or when you do what we're going to do, and your image is left and you put your embossing powder over it, it all taps off. You don't get little tiny pinpoints of embossing powder that you can't get off most of the time. This will help eliminate some of it. So I've got that done. Now I'm going to take my piece of acetate and I'm going to take my die, and I want to cut my acetate kind of to the size of the die. I don't want my acetate to be too big. See how much bigger it is than the die? So I'm just going to kind of cut it down. And then I'm going to take my Versamark. And I'm going to put Versamark right onto my acetate sheet. Again, David was looking at me like, what is this woman doing? And I said, just wait, just wait. And what was so funny is that after I did it, I had to sign a confidentiality agreement to see all of this stuff. Then I looked at him and I said, ha, now it's your turn. You can't tell anybody about this. You have to wait because I'm the one who thought about it. So I have got, make sure I'm on the, I've got my Versamark. I want to make sure I was on the right side. I've got my Versamark on here. I'm gonna pull my sandwich over. Again, my magnetic platform, my new ink sheets transfer pad, my paper, my acetate sheet with the Versamark side down. So you want shiny side up, just like the foil, shiny side up. I'm just gonna put it down, put my die on top, and send it through my Big Shot Plus. So can you get where I'm going with this yet? Oh, see here cracks? No worries, let it go, it's good, I promise. Take off my clear plate. Put my die back, and again, there's nothing on my die because the top is covering it. I've now got my image kind of embossed in there. Can you see how it's embossed in there? Which you can do that too. You don't even have to use the Versamark. You can just use this as an embossing tool. Look at that, ready to go. I'm gonna grab some of my detailed embossing powder. Detailed. We use the Stampendous detailed embossing powder. You want to use detailed embossing powder. I was so proud of myself because I loved what they showed how to do with the foil. But you know me, I have to think about what more can we do with this? How can we make it even more user-friendly and more beneficial to the customer so that they get the most benefit out of it? And all I did, I'm gonna take a little bit of a paintbrush and just brush away any of the extra little dust that I don't, or any of the extra little embossing powder that I don't want. Just take a little bit of a paintbrush, no big deal. And then I would take my heat tool and I would heat it until it melts. So not only can you use the new foils by Sizzix, but you can take them and use your embossing powders. All you have to do is ink up a piece of clear acetate. It's that simple. I'm gonna just lay it out one more time for you. I'm not gonna run it through. I'm just gonna lay out the sandwich one more time for you. You're going to take a piece of paper. You're going to put your talcum powder or your baby powder right over it. That way there's not as much embossing powder that statics to the paper. You're going to take your Versamark and you're going to ink up the one side of the acetate. And you don't want to over ink. You don't want to use a re-inker to do this and a little foam sponge. You'll end up with too much. You really do want to use a pad, and it doesn't matter if it's the big size or the little cube, as long as it's one of the pads. You're gonna take that, you're gonna pull over your magnetic platform or whatever platform you're using, and don't forget you've got all the directions right on the pad here, the transfer pad. You're going to put your paper down. You're going to put your clear plastic with the Versamark against the paper. You don't want that Versamark so that you can touch it. You want it against the paper. And then you are going to take your die right over the top and your clear plate. And you're going to send it right through your machine, whether it be the Big Shot, the Big Shot Plus. You're going to send it right through your machine. Then you will tap on your embossing powder and you will heat set it. And you have now got an embossed image of your die. Oh my gosh. There's so much to be done with this transfer pad. It's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. I was so excited. I was like in the movie Up when the dog sees a squirrel and it was squirrel. That was me. I locked in on this, even though the dies were beautiful and everything they had to show me was beautiful. I locked in on this because this is affordable. It's using things you already have, and it's giving you more value from the things you've already bought. It transforms your wafer dies. And then when you start playing with the Tonic Studio dies that are just engineered beautifully. I mean, I've got a die set here that when you look at that, okay, they already know I'm not crazy about the packaging because I want them to take these here and put them here so you see what you can do, because there's not one die here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 different dies that will allow you to do so many different things. The outer die and the inner die. You can just take this die right here and put it on a piece of paper, and all it's gonna do is cut that beautiful frame. It's gonna keep the center, it's gonna keep the outside, it's just gonna cut those little, it's beautiful. They're just beautiful. I am so excited that they are finally going to be at Scrapbooking Made Simple. It took them long enough, but better late than never, right? Between that and the transfer pad from Sizzix and the foil sheets, and I know there's a way I'm gonna get that image off so that we get to use the positive and the negative so that there is absolutely no waste. But wait, I'm not done yet. I have another thing to show you using the foils and well, not the transfer pad, because we're gonna go back to the multi-purpose platform. So I'm gonna put this over here, put that back, move that over. I'm gonna put my magnetic sheet away, and I'm gonna pull over my multi-purpose platform. And the reason why I'm pulling over my multi-purpose platform is because we're gonna use an embossing folder. Yep, we're gonna use an embossing folder, and we are going to use the foil. Now this is going to give you kind of it's not ever gonna be 100% perfect. It's gonna give you a beautiful effect, but I want you to see it because it's important. And it's actually 2 different effects that you can do. So I'm gonna cut this sheet in half just so we can use half and half. And I am going to grab a piece of black paper. Wow, I'm running out of paper. Okay, well, I'm gonna use a piece of black paper, and I guess maybe I'll just do half of it so I can do both times. I thought I cut enough. I have got my multi-purpose platform. I'm gonna open it to tab 1 because that's the tab you use with translucent embossing folders. It shows it right there for you. I am going to put my paper, I've got my Sizzix face up, facing me. I'm gonna put my paper in there. And then I'm gonna put my foil. And I'm only going to I'm gonna leave this part so that you can see the difference. And I'm gonna close it. This time I do have to sandwich it between 2 clear plates, or now I'm gonna sandwich it between my new hot pink do not cut plate. Put my embossing folder down, put my clear plate on top, and send it on through. What do you think's gonna happen? It was like magic. It was. Put this over there because I'm gonna do it again, only I'm gonna do the opposite. So this time I have it with the foil on top where you see the Sizzix. Open it up. Oh, is that yummy? Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Wait till you see the sample that Mary Lynn made of the 12 by 12 layout. She used the embossing folder to do it. It's gorgeous. But maybe this isn't the side you want to do. Maybe you want to do the other side. So let's grab my piece here and let's grab my half a paper. So instead of doing it where I've got the foil on top, shiny side, like this, I'm instead going to put it backwards. So now I've got it on the bottom with the dull side facing me. I've got my paper in there, close it up, and it's going to do this side, which is different than the other. So it's up to you if you want to do the positive side of the embossing folder, the negative side of the embossing folder. You have options. Put it down right on my multi-purpose platform, open to tab 1. I've got my do not cut plate down, my embossing folder with my paper and my foil, my clear plate, and then on top we go. bring over my new machine and send it through. It just doesn't get any easier than this. It really doesn't. And then I've got a whole different look. It just depends upon what it is you like. Totally up to you. And Mary Lynn kept this piece and used it as part of her layout. Wait till you see it. So this has been a lot in a YouTube. I agree, I know, but I had to show it all to you because I was so excited and I had to be quiet for so long. So just as a recap, we have a new platform or a new pad by Sizzix called the Transfer Pad. It works with their new foil sheets, and the foil sheets come in white, gold, black, and silver. The original or the beginners or the starter kit comes with the pad. It comes with one sheet of each color and 3 little framelit dies for you to play with. And what that does is takes any of your wafer dies, and instead of die cutting it, it transfers that image onto your paper in a foil color, which, if you really get very creative, you can then go over the top and you can color. I mean, there's just so much to do. I see a whole nother YouTube coming because my mind is just spinning. So we showed you how to just do a simple transfer. And then we showed you how to bump it up a little bit and do it with an embossing. I probably covered it up, and do it with an embossing powder where you can then heat emboss what you've done by using a piece of acetate inked up with your Verso mark in lieu of the foil from Sizzix. And then you would send it through just exactly the same way, put your embossing powder over it, tap off the embossing powder, and heat it so that embossing powder melts into a solid. So now you've got not only a way to use it with the Sizzix foils, and yes, the foils will be sold in packages, trust me, we'll have it all online for you. So you can buy the starter kit, and then you can buy the sheets of foil. I wanna say it's either 4 or 5 sheets per package, and I can't remember if it's $4.99 or $5.99 per package, but we'll have it all. So you can use that. You can then take your dies, use them to impress an image that you can then heat emboss, or you can take your embossing folder and use your embossing folder to do all of this, where we've taken any of your embossing folders to go ahead and transfer that foil. It truly is amazing. It's absolutely fabulous, and it's so cost effective, and it really does bring a whole new life to your wafer dies. And then with Tonic Studios and their wafer dies finally coming to scrapbooking made simple, I just am so excited. I couldn't believe it. I mean, this die, it's remarkable. Oh, and then I almost forgot. If you do buy the Tonic Studios dies, guess what they come on? They come on a piece of acetate. So if you take these off to store them onto a regular, onto your magnetic storage system, or however it is you store, you can then take off the sticky, and you can use this as your acetate to do the embossing, the heat embossing with the Verso mark that I showed you. So like this, if you use this die on a piece of paper, it doesn't cut out this circle. It cuts all of these little beautiful details, all this doily work out of a solid piece of paper, and it leaves the paper solid. Amazing. If you do these, I just can't tell you how they build upon each other. They're really beautiful, 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 well-engineered dies. Very excited about them. But if you do buy them, don't throw away that acetate. That's your acetate to start with. Holy smokes, all of them come with it. All the different Tonic Studios dies come with it. The Sizzix boxes for your bigs, try that acetate. You can't go wrong. Okay, we have done so much. I have samples to show you because time is ticking, and we've got samples to show you. Let me move some of this out of the way. I've made a little bit of a mess, but my understanding is that this is gonna clean up like nothing. It's gonna just wipe away, and I like it because It's got a little bit of gush. Apparently, Deb at Imagine Crafts said I had talked about gush. So she put a little bit of gush. They put a little bit of gush into their pad. And what I do like about it is it doesn't slip at all. I can put that Big Shot. You saw me put the Big Shot Plus right on it and nothing moved. Everything stays just where it is. And you should be able to take heat. It will take the heat. You should be able to take a glue gun and drop the glue right on it, and then when it dries, peel it right on off. So we're gonna give it a whirl and see what happens. But samples first. Let's start with the 12 by 12 that that she did a couple of them, but see this? See that right there? That's the negative. See that gloss? You can still see the gloss of the negative that she made this layout from. Used them right here, used words and the transfer sheets. Isn't that beautiful? Didn't she do a great job? So there's one layout using the transfer sheets and an embossing powder and a couple dies, or an embossing folder. And then here's the other. And this one, she actually transferred the foil onto the paper. So this is the top of this one. We pulled it off. Don't throw it away. We got to figure out what to do with it. And by the time the transfer sheets get here, which will be sometime, the foil sheets in the pad, sometime March. The estimated time, I believe, is March 15th, and it will be on a pre-order, and it will have the estimated time of delivery to SMS around March 15th, because we can now do that. Isn't that a beautiful layout? She did a lovely job. Absolutely lovely. Okay, so there's the 12 by 12s. Let me grab a bunch of the cards. So here's Yvette. Now she did this. She didn't do the foil with this. She actually embossed that. She used the technique where we used the acetate and then did a heat emboss, but she absolutely could have done it with any of the transfer sheets as well, the foil sheets. Cute card, huh? Isn't that darling? And then we did another one with an embossing folder. Just put the foil right in with the embossing folder on top of the paper, sent it through. Isn't that beautiful? It's an absolutely beautiful card. And here's the one with the silhouette from Tonic Studios. This is what I gave it to Yvette and I said, go. And this is what she came up with. Is she not amazing? Even Gary was like, oh, that's really good. And then Kim was in from Sizzix, and Kim's like, oh, that's really pretty. Isn't that beautiful? And then we have with the balloons, and look at, that's an Elizabeth Crafts happy birthday. Elizabeth Crafts die, transferred on the happy birthday. And look at the balloons, and she colored in some of on the balloon. You can take the words, and you don't have to die cut them anymore. You can use the transfer sheets. And let me show you. So we did a frame. I'm wondering if I can. We did a frame with the transfer, with the foil, and that left all of this empty space here. So we just went back and did the happy birthday. After the fact, we used that space up because we didn't want to waste it. So cute. And then we did one with embossing powder. This is a memory box. I believe this is a memory box die that we used with the clear acetate, that we inked up the acetate and with the Verso mark, and we ran it through, and then we put the embossing powder down and we embossed it. This is a die that has now transferred into what is a stamp for all intents and purposes. Isn't that gorgeous? And then we have the background again using an embossing folder and transferring the gold onto an embossing folder. Another die, the hearts and the banner, and the word love. The word love, again, I think that's a Elizabeth Craft, and I believe the hearts and banners are a memory box. Took a die and made it into your own stamp. Oh, here. There we go. There's the frame with the happy birthday. And the happy birthday was added after the fact because we wanted to use up that space. Super cute. easy to do, takes something you already have, those dies that you already have, and lets you utilize it in so many more ways with embossing powder, with their transfer foil sheets. Amazing. Okay, so let me show you. This is it. That's the package. Comes with the pad. Comes with 4 sheets of foil, 1 gold, 1 silver, 1 white, 1 black, and 3 framelit dies. $14.99, less 20% on a pre-order, due in March, approximately March 15th. And we can keep you updated now because we can change the date on the item. We can show it as a pre-order and we can show the expected delivery date. Then we'll have all of the sheets that you can buy separately. So if you want more gold, or you want more black, or you want more white or more silver, you'll be able to buy the sheets separately. I want to say it's a 4 or a 5 pack for somewhere around $4.99, but they will be on the YouTube Yummy sale. This will be on the YouTube Yummy sale. We will have the new clear plates, which aren't clear anymore, the new colored clear plates on the YouTube Yummy sale. Great way to now have your do not cut plate without getting confused and having to mark do not cut. You know, if you've got the purple, that's your do not cut plate. Absolutely wonderful idea. We're going to have Tonic Studios and their dies on, I'm not sure exactly which dies we're getting in yet. They sent me an email today letting me know what the first ones we'll be able to get in. I think there's 50 of them that we'll be able to get right away. Don't know if these are all of them or if these are some of them, but their dies are just gorgeous. And don't forget, they come on that acetate, so don't throw that away because you'll be able to use that to transfer your embossing powder with, or to transfer your embossing medium with. Just amazing. I hope you guys took notes. If not, go back because you're going to want to take notes. So what do we have on sale? We've got the brand new Sizzix Essentials Transfer Pad Starter Kit on sale. We've got the foil sheets to go on sale. We've got the new clear plates to go on sale. We've got the new Tonic Studios dies to go on sale. And yes, we'll have the new Big Shot Plus on sale for a well, it's going to be a regular price, everyday price of $139.99, regularly $199.99. Beautiful, isn't it? All right, I'm going to tilt on up and I'm going to say, hey everybody, it's me, Stacy. I hope you're still with me. I really do. Where are you going to get all these great products? You're going to get them at our brand new website, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Don't even need the www. Scrapbookingmadesimple.com. And if you still have the old site, www.shop@sms.com, that's going to work too. They'll all be on sale for you. I hope you enjoyed this YouTube. I hope it was worth the wait. I hope that you were excited about this product as I was, because I just see it as another way to integrate what you've already got in your stash and make it even more usable. All right, you guys, it's me, Stacy. I'll see you next time. Bye.